oh, this can't run that far.
What's it?
Take six.
Take six.
Type shit.
Type shit. Come on. Hi guys, and welcome to the Carry Roll podcast show. Today we have another special guest. Her name is
Anaïs. Marden.
Wait, we didn't even
introduce ourselves. My name is Ian Atini.
My name is Andre Sayu.
Come over there, Ian. And yeah, we're very pleased for you guys to see another episode of us, and we brought a special guest from a short film on what we've done. We played on our first episode, and we hope that you guys enjoyed it. I suppose by the time it comes out, this will be out anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
So, Anaïs, how have you been?
I've been good.
Yep.
Thanks, by the way, for bringing me onto here.
No problem.
No, it's an honour. It's like I've always wanted to do something like this.
Really?
So this is my first one, and I'm happy that it's this one.
Yeah, that's good. We'll talk about like how we first met. So basically, me and Andre were like extras on a film set. What was it called?
Yeah, what's
It was called Danke or something.
I didn't even remember what it's called.
Everyone had to be in like white clothing, sort of.
That's where like shirts.
Yeah.
I remember wearing a shirt.
Yeah, and then we were all on the same set without knowing we were on the same set, which is weird.
So weird. So like we just probably just passed by each other several times, and then we did like an actual short film, like one of us like main cast, and then me and Andre must have been just talking about she overheard. She's like, "Oh, I was on that," and we just looked at each other just like.
And it's
what's
funny,
the-
we just all
Yeah,
ended up in the same, like on the same short film,
And
like
you see the
months
pictures
after.
of us two and you see Anaïs in the background. Like, oh, she was
That's
there.
as well, yeah. But that's how we met. So we can just talk about like the beginning, like what got you into acting, and just take on from there.
It was going to be a bit deep, guys.
Yeah,
That's
A bit deep. What first got me to acting was my parents' divorce.
Swear.
No, yeah. So
So how old was you then?
I was in school, so I was like probably start of secondary school, so 10. And because of that, I was like, we did like, drama was compulsory as part of your subject.
Swear.
Yeah.
Actually, no. It was.
It was
And then
until like halfway.
you picked for GCSE.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I went to secondary school at the start. I don't know how they know that.
So whilst I was doing that, I was like, oh shit, I really love this. Like, I really love it, and it helped me. But at the same time, I was having counselling for whatever was going on at home. But I found acting like my second home.
Okay.
And so that's where the passion for acting came through. But then when it got to choosing my subjects, my parents didn't see it as like a job.
Oh, yeah.
And so I couldn't do it anymore. And I just had to focus on something else, which was fashion. That would just somehow be a job for my parents, but still be creative for me.
Yeah.
And so throughout my years, I've always wanted to do acting, but I just had to concentrate on like fashion, and then somehow went into graphics, and then would always bring up the subject of acting to my parents. But that never like sit right with them.
No.
And they always just argue about it, and they'll make it a whole thing. And obviously in Asian culture, like it's just not a job. It's not something, none of our family members have done it. None of my, no one in my family has gone down that route to really prove that it works for them. And obviously on TV, they're like, yeah, we see some on TV, but it's not a huge amount of like Asians on TV that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Except like EastEnders or like something like that.
They're popping up now on Netflix.
Now they are.
Now.
Like
But,
now.
Like just even 10 years ago.
And now that's why my mom's like, oh, I've seen that girl. You could be there now. And I'm like, no, that's
Wait,
not
so
the
did
point.
you pick it for a subject? Did you say
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
So that's why COVID sort of really launched me back into it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, cool, I'm doing this. I don't care. Like, I really want to do this now. I can't seem to stop thinking about it. And every time I do it, it's like my happy place again. And so now it's like, I'm just going full force with it, however I can. But I'm still primarily very new to the industry compared to like other people I met, like you guys. I feel like are a bit more, a little more experienced in terms of like you've done it from a young age, right?
Oh yeah.
And you sort of, know how that feels. Whereas I'm doing it from like an adult
But you're starting like most actors, like when they decide they want to actually do it, they start off like quite when you start kind of, and like I feel like it's good as an adult knowing you made that decision yourself kind of a thing, because sometimes kids are put into that position of doing it. They don't know why they're doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they don't appreciate it as much. I don't know, but yeah, I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you should just keep on doing what you're doing.
And I felt like, yeah, it definitely happened for a reason for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, because now it's like probably the best thing I've done.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think everyone I talk to is like, oh, so that you really can do this, which still surprises me and shocks me because I thought, oh yeah, like I love acting, but never really thought I could or had it in me. But then there's times when I do act, it's like, oh, I'm in it.
Yeah.
And I don't realize I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
What actors did you look at that maybe inspired you to make you believe, or like that you looked at and like, oh, I want to be like that kind of thing?
So growing up, my mum raised me on a lot of like really serious TV series like Little House on the Prairie. And I watched a lot of CSI, so I always I either wanted, if I was an actor, I wanted to be like in the laboratory.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted to be on the crime scenes and
So
like...
besides answers and that.
Yeah.
Forensics.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I want to do that. But then maybe I just wanted to play the role that did that and not actually be that.
So it's like Suits when everyone wants to be a lawyer. And act like Harvey Specter. Not actually be the lawyer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that like sort of made me think like, oh, I really want to be in that. And then again, my like whole thing is drama. So I've been raised on drama and a lot of like serious stuff. Like I watched a lot of like serious shit when I like from a young age, and I didn't realize like family situations and like those kind of programs. And obviously I watch all the Disney stuff and everything. But growing up now, it's more like so stuff like, you know, Taylor Russell or like Papa Suedo or Alexa Demi, like those kind of actresses and actors that, you know how to play like multiple roles and
versatile.
Yeah, versatile. Or like Cillian Murphy and you know, or Michaela Cole actually was one that sits with me like my childhood.
What was it about her that was just like?
So from Chewing Gum, it's Chewing Gum, right? Yeah,
I think so.
The show. Yeah. I always get confused with Bubblegum, Chewing Gum.
I think it's Chewing Gum.
Yeah, Chewing Gum.
Sorry, apologies.
Oh. Get it wrong. I don't know, like she was so comedic, but that was based on her real life as well. Like she was like, yeah, I was raised very like Christian and I didn't know anything about sex, so this was literally my personal experience. And I was like, wait, what?
That's crazy.
So literally all that obviously is sensitive.
Based on a true story then?
On her.
Okay.
Like her, but probably intensified to like make it appealing to the audience. And I was like, I don't know, I love this program so much. Like it's just so sick in the way that everything is like directed and produced. It's real life, but at the same time, just comedy. And then when she came out with I May Destroy You, that was like a complete opposite of True. Yeah. And I was like, that's who I want to be. That's who I want to achieve. Is like that juxtaposition of different people, but has like strong stories in both.
I might like, to be fair as well, that's kind of like one of my inspirations as well. I want to be able to be like an actor that's like able to do like a crime, action, maybe like emotional kind of stuff, things like romance and all of that, because I feel like as an actor to be recognised, you'll even get more jobs. It'll help
show you that your range.
ranges
can do a lot
on top. So that's a sick kind of like inspiration. What about you?
Yeah, what about you guys?
Well, I wasn't as in
like what type of like range kind of thing would you specify? Obviously you've got that generic like top way kind of like
but I want to like do comedy.
Comedy.
I feel like I'm a bit funny.
You're funny.
Comedy is one of them. And actually I would want to do emotional one. Just like, because like I've never done a crime scene before, and I just want to tackle that, see how
challenge yourself.
There's two crime scenes.
Don't, because I was like, I shook the little girl.
Yeah, she was just like,
She was crying.
for anyone who is a scene in our short film,
Yeah.
she just started crying in the scene.
Camera didn't even get it. Camera was
Exactly.
behind.
I got it because I was seeing her crying to my eyes, and I started crying. I think you know the bit at the end.
It was Austria and I forgot her name.
Yeah.
What was the girl? Your younger sister.
I feel like
What was
Effie.
even her character?
It wasn't Effie.
Nah.
It was so bad.
Hey.
But it's been a long time.
Yeah, it has been a long time.
Hey, Ma.
It has been a long time.
It'll come to me. No.
I actually genuinely forgot her name.
I've got it in my head. I remember.
But yeah, she just started crying.
Yeah. And like, what's that? The you know the trailer, the recent one.
Yeah.
At the end of it, when they look into her eyes, you
Yeah.
can kind of see your tears a bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, like the tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like,
Little bit.
it's
I
not
think,
crying, but you know when you can see
Yeah.
like your eyes start to water.
I remember like telling Max afterwards, Max director of the
Yeah.
film, that I was like not happy with that one because I was like, oh, I really love the colour of it. We could do it again, but like with timing and everything,
Yeah.
I was like, well, it still looks sick. All of ours still looks sick. So yeah.
What techniques do you like think of something sad to get it out, or do you
You
just
know what?
emotional?
I recently learned how to cry. It wasn't long before that.
Really?
So it was through doing my masters. That we did an emotional class with my teacher. I was like shitting bricks because I was like, how?
I would be too.
I was like, oh my god, this is the class that I want to do, but I'm so scared to do. And I broke down in it, and I don't know how, but it was like, so apparently it's emotional memory. Like you can think of something, but you can also. What I tend to do is like when there's someone in front of me, and the situation was, I'm left at the train station, and my friend, I'm never going to see my friend again, basically. So my friend just came to me and then stood there, and I just looked at her, and I was like, I don't know what happened, but I just, and I just started crying, bag thrown to the floor, just dropped to the floor, literally.
So what techniques did you use to draw your emotion?
I think I just really envisioned that's my friend, like I'm never going to see my best friend again. You know, and I think she was just didn't know what to do. It was like, it's okay, I'm not going anywhere.
I bet she was like, she's really upset. Like, it'll make the scene more realistic anyway, kind of thing.
And I think it's also, but then with that class, like everyone left afterwards just like drained. Like no one was talking to each other. Everyone just like, hi guys. Like literally looking at the floor, walking out the uni, and I was like, but that shouldn't how it should be. And it's like, the thing is with those scenes, it's like you put yourself into a place, but you have to take yourself back out.
Vulnerability.
Like be vulnerable for that scene or whatever it is, but you have to be able to like be strong enough to take yourself out and not sit in it too much.
I think I was watching a podcast, like The Crew Has It, or one of the episodes. I think Tina Miller was in it. And I think she was in the Hunger Games. And she was talking about Jennifer Lawrence doing like one of the scenes. And apparently like it was that proper like traumatic like kind of scene. And she has to be like upset and everything. And apparently like once they said, okay, thank you, like cut. Apparently just be like back to normal. She's able to take herself out of that place. And like all giddy. And she's like, how's she doing that? That kind of thing. It's just like, I feel like it's just a way of just repetition.
Literally. What's the film with Viola Davis that she won?
What is it? Was it
The Fences?
Yes.
With Denzel?
Is it
Denzel?
Yeah. That's Fences.
And the scene she did with
Denzel Washington, right?
Yes. And then she had to like do that so many times, but he kept saying, again, more. No, again, more.
Really?
No, again, more.
Who, Denzel kept saying that?
Yeah.
Oh my
like,
days.
just so she could keep like, so she had snot the whole thing.
Yeah, the best one.
Madness.
So like literally like even like the best actors, like they still have to do it again and again to get to that point, and it frustrates you because then you then naturally.
Because then you actually just think.
Like literally.
And you actually just start crying.
Like F you, like like I
but the thing is, it's like her version of doing it maybe once would probably take us like 10 times to get to her. Because it's Denzel Washington, like it's just like it's gonna.
No facts, yeah.
He was an incredible actor. But yeah, that Viola Davis scene. I think in when we were on Identity, not in your class, I don't think. When I was with Jason's class, our teacher talked about that specific scene a lot, and he used to like critique and like, analyze it. And for us to, like,
Yeah, we had to as well. Yeah,
really?
yeah.
So what was that like kind of thing? Like all day?
I think it was more like just what is she doing in each scene, like in each moment, and what changes, and like from her movement to her eyes, like where she's looking, where she's moving, what do you notice, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just very little things that I barely remember now.
The thing is, people have their own interpretation of like looking into things, I'd say.
Yeah.
So like, they could be like, oh yeah, I've really paid attention to the way like her hand movement was. Or someone would be like, oh, you like the way how she just does her hair or something like that kind of thing.
But that's all intuitional,
Instinctual, yeah.
Instinctual, like it's
institutional. I don't know what to say.
Oh,
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
But yeah, with those things, it's like, I think it's like, yeah, we like it, but I think it just comes in the scene, and it's just whatever
100%.
happens, really.
And in terms of like, I was gonna say something about to do with like acting experience and stuff. Like, what first job did you do where you thought, oh, okay, I kind of like this guy?
It was a short film that I did for Molly Levia's in Ken. And I basically played this lesbian couple, and it was basically about drugs. Like, I was selling drugs.
What?
But in a very
drugs? What's this? What are you hiding from? Scary.
Yeah, that's why I was hired for this. Yeah, that's why I hired for Max's film. But it was it was a very like, it wasn't like very like grimy like our one. It was very just
monotone. Yeah.
So it's more like, oh, I'm doing it. I need you to help me, sort of thing. And it was more like emotional, more like softer. Okay. If that makes sense. Like, like the softer side was telling me.
So our one was more harder. Then it was more like.
Because it's outside. It's based outside. So it's not going to be as And that was my first one that I did, and it was my first acting job, and I literally had to like scream and shout in that one, and I was like, I don't know how to do that yet, and I hadn't even done my degree, nothing in it, so this was literally, I was picked up for it, and I was like, yeah, I really love this, and this was what I want to do more of this. But it was also, I look back at it and I'm like, oh, I've done so many things that were different. But at the same time, it was a 2-day shoot, and you didn't have time to like refilm so many stuff. And I realized sometimes, like in the shouting scenes, I was like shouting just to shout. Like,
wait, did you not protect your voice kind of thing? You're just,
you know, when because you know when you first do it, I wasn't like internally angry enough, or I didn't really feel that. And it's like looking back at it, I was like, oh, I look like I'm just shouting like for no reason at this point.
I kind of learned that as well at a certain stage. I think it's identity kind of thing. They say like, what's your purpose kind of thing? Like, what's your reason? What's your motive? It's like, are you shouting because he did this? Are you shouting because he took your wallet? Are you shouting because he's just ignoring you? Kind of thing. What type of anger is it? Because the audience maybe won't be able to tell specifically, like, why is this guy just shouting because of that? But like, they'll know signs a bit off-screen kind of thing. And like, speaking of which, you know when we did that scene where I shouted at you?
It was so good.
It
was sick.
It
scared me.
When you look back, it's like, you look like you're angry.
You even broke the door. So.
That's the whole thing we can even talk about now. Basically, like.
Oh yeah, we could talk about that.
I mean, wait still was. But basically, like, Easter egg basically was that scene where you see the door smash. That wasn't supposed to happen.
When it happened, me and Anaïs just looked at each other, and then we just looked away. I was just silent. I was thinking, I
wish they captured my face and how shocked I was. They could
the
use
whole
that
like crew was just like.
Because of Arthur's face, like he didn't know it was. We were all looking at, it, and he was like, he's like. I was thinking, yo.
He started laughing at that, and then I think he clocked. Oh shit, this is serious.
Yeah, literally.
Oh god. But it's just like, I was proper in it. Like, I zoned out kind of thing for that scene. Because you're giving it back, because I can tell, like, obviously, like, the relationship we built, like, you always looking after my sister kind of thing. So then I was kind of like, oh, you really betrayed me like that kind of thing. I repeated it to myself, bears. I think at one point, you know when you go to the toilet in the cafe, and I was just talking to myself, just trying.
I can't like at that point I was thinking like, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah, literally.
I was so like, I did not expect that to happen.
I think it helped all of us, like literally in that scene, because I think we all just sort of clocked into that characters. We're like, "Oh, okay, this is real now."
But yeah, it was a beautiful scene. Kind of
it was.
Yeah, and
I got a question that I asked another guest in the previous episode. So why do you act?
I act because it's my life.
Your life.
And it's like I put my all into it and I act because it's like my passion. It's something I can't see my life without, if that makes sense.
That's literally like me as well.
What's the thrill?
I don't know like what I'll do.
You don't know?
I actually don't know.
The thrill is like, yeah, it's exactly. It's like what would I, like what else
what would I be doing? Like,
where am I putting all my energy into?
Yeah.
What like, that's where I put everything into. That's where like I pour everything out into, you know? And that's how we become successful. And that's how we make our mark, essentially. Yeah.
And in terms of like, you did that acting experience, right? Was there like any acting experience that you thought maybe even extra or whatever, but you just looked at someone's performance and you're just like, I don't like what they're doing there. Or, I'm not sure about that. Or kind of you went on a set kind of, and you were like, I'm not really sure about this kind of film. Or just anything positive or negative.
I think it's mainly like my theatre work.
Yeah.
So I think
theatre's tough.
Theatre is so tough. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like I loved it so
I
much for my masters. So when I did The Drowning Girls and when I did Risk, they were both very different. Like one I played like this. I played like a 27 married-year-old married person. Can't speak English. Couldn't get that.
A married couple.
Yeah. And those are like very mature relationships. Like we're talking about like marriage, we're talking about divorces, we're talking about a lot of things that I'm not even there yet. But in theatre, it's like you can play those roles, very different from screen. And so that was a juxtaposition to The Drowning Girls, where it was like it's more fun. It was girls. It was like, but you're playing like a real life story of these 3 women that drowned, and you're replaying their life basically.
Oh wait, it was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so much fun. It was like in a bathtub.
Did you get to meet the actual like?
No. They're dead.
Oh, they're dead.
He was proper into it. So it was just,
They're dead. Oh shit.
This was from 18 something.
Medieval times, bro. Is that medieval? I can't as medieval.
That's a medieval.
That's medieval. 18.
No, it's not.
1800.
1800.
1800 whatever.
It's 18,000.
I think between 13 to 18 to me, that's just...
Nah, 13 to like 60.
Jesus times, I don't know.
Nah, Jesus.
AC, BC.
ACBC.
Whatever that's about.
And so yeah, that those experiences is what I was also made me 50-50 about, I think, acting in theatre. Because I really loved it, but the process of it is like insane. Because it's very demanding. And obviously in theatre it is paid less than screen, and you do have to do way more, and you have to like rehearse all the time and get your lines.
And it's one take.
One take, literally.
If you slip up, then
you got to be able to improvise.
Exactly. We had like 30 minutes of each, and it's like I had to again cry and break down in both, like, and they were like right next to each other, like one day and the other the next day, the next night, and I was like, why do I keep getting these stuff? But it was like, it's just like, it's really difficult, and it's harder to get into. It's not as easy as I think with screen, where you have that comfortability to just...
You can do it.
And like, you have to... And in theatre, you have to have that like connection and...
So what would you say, like, you prefer screen over theatre or theatre over screen? I
think I like screen more just because I know how to work the screen. Like I have more of a stillness, and like with theatre I can move around the stage, but I tend to feel like I don't know where to go on stage more time. Like it's about your movement. It's not even about your face anymore. It's about projecting.
Everything's exaggerated. Kind of.
Literally.
Everyone needs to see the ta.
Yeah. So when I did do theatre, I then had this whole, during theatre, I had like this whole casting, I got a casting like call back from Shaheen Bey.
Okay.
And it was like a feature film, and I had like several rounds of that.
Yeah.
But my theatre was sort of merging into that, so I ended up being more like outwards than inwards.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool experience though, like meeting Shaheen Bey, meeting like the directors of the film, and it was sick, and it was a good experience. But then I also saw the side of getting a role on screen. And how long it takes, and how many people they like see, and the process.
It's like years. But it takes 2 years to like. You see these films that you guys see, right? You might think, it only takes like a couple months. Like some of these things have been planned for years in advance.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And like even the casting process itself, they could probably take 1 year just to find the right person, depending on the budget of the kind of thing. These things, they take their time with it, kind of thing. So. Yeah, you should appreciate the favorite films and shows. Big gas that feel blowing up. It's a lot of hard work put behind it.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask as well. You talk about doing things constantly again and again and again in theatre, right? Do you ever try like do something a bit different kind of thing to maybe kind of like I don't know, maybe in one scene you've cried down, you've broken down, and then maybe in one scene is it possible for you to like cry but then maybe not? Cry to the extent maybe it's more you're just demoralized, completely just finished. Yeah.
And that's what happens, I think, in the Drowning Girls, where it's like I'd cry in one scene, but the next scene we're like happy and just jumping. Oh, okay. And so, it helps when you've got that. But then I guess you're right, when you don't have that, you do have to find a way to
keep it going.
Somehow keep it going, but maybe not as much. But then it changes with every like forms you do. Yeah. I only had the chance to do it once.
Okay.
I guess if I did it like again and again, it would be different. And it might not be, I might not break down in one, and I might just be a bit more internal, or I might be like, I might literally look like a psycho in the next show.
So when you done the show, how many nights was it?
It was only one, and it was just for uni. That's the thing. It was only 30 minutes. Okay. So I feel like if I did do it again and again,
you would have feel drained.
Yeah.
Like, if you done it for like 5 days and like every night breaking down.
How long was rehearsal like since when you guys first started planning it?
Like 2 months or something like that. But we had a lot of difficulty just because of the bathtubs, like getting it to the theatre. We had mirrors, so we were performing to mirrors and not even to the audience, which was an interesting concept. So the audience would watch us through the mirrors.
What?
And we would like...
Heard of this.
Crazy.
Never heard of this.
It's sick. It was really sick. And it was a different sort of experience for us. And also acting alongside other people who have their different experiences to you. And from different cultures and like different accents. So I had Yolanda, who's from Greece. And then Kichen from China. And so... merging all of that together creates like a really cool like show.
Yeah.
Because you don't all sound the same, you don't act the same, and you all bring something different, which is I think exciting for the audience to watch.
100%. It also like opens the door because for like young actors who kind of like probably want to get into that sort of stuff, if they see like more diverse cast come through, and everyone's susceptible to like joy.
That industry kind of thing, not feel like but only them only those. It's everyone, unification kind of thing.
Yeah.
In terms of like working with like big productions and stuff, like who would you say is the biggest person you've met, or the biggest person that you like? Also, that person doesn't need to be big, but someone who's just like you see in production, you're just like, oh, that's amazing kind of thing.
That I don't need to have met.
No, you don't need to have met. Or have met.
I haven't really met any big like productions or anything like that. I think Shaheen Bey was like the biggest person I've met. That's obviously current right now in all the castings. And I think casting directors in general.
Yeah, I think that's even better. That's one thing I want to get onto as well. A lot of actors, right, try and network with a lot of other actors.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that can be good.
It's good.
But then they haven't got power, you know, unless they're like actually like superstars like I don't know, fucking Michael Ward, like Tom Holland or something like that. But if you've got someone like who's just doing their own show, like, and it's not as big kind of thing, it's the casting directors and like the directors, the crew, the people at the back that you should be talking to, because they're the ones who can get that up in the behind the scenes. They're the ones who are doing the casting.
That's a very helpful. That's a very helpful tip.
What are we gonna put as the helpful word today? The crew.
The crew.
The crew.
crew.
The crew. The crew.
The
The crew. The crew.
The crew.
The crew's the most important part of the whole process, kind of thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100% say that. And in terms of like credits and stuff, like you got your first agent recently, didn't you?
I was just about to ask you about that as well.
I don't have the agent anymore.
What? Wow.
It's a whole story about it, but I don't want to brag
Like,
about the. Yeah, I don't want to say
You don't
anything
want to.
bad. It's just it didn't work out on either end. You know.
Okay. I was literally about to ask you about that as well.
Yeah, but I think it was like a cool, like, yeah, you're like excited in that moment. You're like, oh, agent. But I think at the same time, it's finding the agent for you. And that's going to work for you. And that will, who knows who's going to like want to better you and better yourself.
Because when I left my kids' agency as a child, I took a break from acting, and then I went back and I wanted to go for an adult agency at the time. And like the emails I was getting, I sent forward, sent back and stuff. Like the way I split it up was which agent specifically did I feel was actually interested in me, just not for the sense of like credit stuff, and not more of like, oh, I really want to work on this one so I can see what interested in me. I want to help them so they can level up as well, kind of thing. As I think it's important for actors, you can have an agency could be good, but if they not have that relationship with you, kind of thing, it can be daunting. Because you have no one to kind of like fall back on. Maybe you're feeling like, oh, you know, call them up and they're just like, yeah, later, I'm busy.
Yeah. And it was also like, I did send something over like WhatsApp and you don't hear back. And you're like, but there's a timeline, and then it's just, you're not getting the help for like that you need.
The agency that didn't work out, did you have another agent before that? Or?
No, that was like my very first one, just coming out of uni. But you know, you're just messaging like every agency. You're like, okay, cool, this is like, let me get one now. But I recently had like this Q&A with Alex from Curtis Brown, and she was just about like, just find the agent for you and email them, like who, like what do they like work on that like really resonates with you? What kind of like people do they represent that you can see yourself under their books and stuff like that? Don't go for like just any agent either. That's not going to work for you, and that's just isn't for you. Like they're not going to be able to find work for
Don't copy and paste emails.
basically. Because what works for a person that's like famous right now is not going to work for you.
They're different as well. Everyone's different.
Exactly. And it's like there's so many. The thing is now is like there's so many agencies just popping up, and I think it is such a demanding. Like I feel like acting now is such a demanding.
I feel like it's way more popular now, kind of thing.
It's popular. It's like trending now.
Yeah.
So like people are just getting picked up from here, there. You don't know who's going to be the next.
And it's not just like some of them are not even actors.
No, and that's the thing.
They're just like,
I want to get that real.
They just fit the description of the role.
Yeah.
So they're like, you take
I think I asked you guys like when we had like the whole sit down lunch. I was like, what do you guys think? Because as actors, I think we had this discussion in uni, and it was like my teacher asked, and he was like, so what do you guys feel about like people just who have no experience just getting like these lead roles and then becoming the next big thing, and then ultimately not feeling as grateful for these roles? Like they do their thing, and then they're just like, they're just getting their clout, they're getting all of this, and it's like you sort of sit at home and you're like, wait, but I've been doing this for however long.
I've been working hard, and some next person just gets
exactly. And like
it's annoying, but at the same time, it's like it's just luck, really.
Yeah,
I feel like it's kind of like it's a bit of like what's the phrase? The saying is the luck of the draw, something like that. And a bag is just a mixed bag kind of thing. You know? And in a sense, like I feel like if you're in that position of like you're constantly in the room, then eventually something will come out of it, kind of thing. Whereas someone who's just been picked out it's just like how some people are just born billionaires, or millionaires. Like,
yeah, that's true.
that's just really rare. But like, I mean, fair play to them, kind of thing. Because some of them as well, like, they get that opportunity and then they actually take it forward on and they realize, oh shit, I'm not the same as everyone else, kind of thing. I haven't had these lessons, kind of thing. So they want to do their own research and then try to catch up, kind of thing. So I believe everyone has their own challenges and stuff, but yeah, it can be a bit like heartbreaking sometimes, kind of thing. But it's more of a sense like you got to look more forward and see your achievements, kind of thing.
Yeah.
See what you've done so far.
Yeah.
Okay, what's this person done now? He's a big star. Okay, what's it that they picked from him?
Yeah,
for not being an actor that he just naturally has, kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna add that to my abilities, kind of thing, and then that will just take you on to another level, kind of thing. But in terms of like agencies and stuff, what's like the one thing you've learned, kind of thing?
I learned that every agent is going to have something different to say.
Yeah.
So your spotlight is never going to be perfect to any agent. You're never going to be perfect to any agent.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something they're going to want to change, and there's always going to be a different conversation with each agent. And I think you have to prepare yourself. And something is also be willing, like, if don't go into an agent's like interview, or they don't call it an interview, if they want to have a talk with you, they want to talk to you to see why you want to act, but act essentially like, what's it about you personally? Like, what can we take from you? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
And I've recently been doing like workshops with Paul McNeely, and he has casting directors.
Okay.
Paul McNeely. So he does these workshops called Bubble and Speak.
Okay.
But they're very like low key, so I don't even know if I should be saying it, because I found it through Twitter, and he was like, people don't really like find my stuff because I don't put it out for everyone. So it's only for people that really find it.
Okay.
So yeah, whoever wants to check it out. And so yeah, so in terms of the agents, it's just like, be prepared to be open, is what I'm trying to say.
I like the fact that even though it was your first agent, you weren't so quick to be like, okay, I have to stick with them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Stay with them, like, because it's my first agent.
And that's just with my age, I feel.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like life experience, I'm just not going to take like shit from anyone, really, at this point. And so if it's not working, it's not working. I can like try and build myself and move on to someone else and have a better relationship with someone else. And then I did try out to audition with another agent, but it didn't work out because they were like, oh, we just feel like you need a bit more experience, or like just take a few more classes, then come back.
Those ones are kind of just jarring because it's like, how can I get credits if I don't have an agent? But then...
But how do you have an agent if you don't have credits?
Exactly. How does someone get it?
And like, that's what I said, is that you got to take everything with a pinch of salt in this industry. Like, everyone's going to say something different for you. And I think it's eventually just finding what you are, feeling confident in it, and being like, this is me. Sort of like, in a way, take it or leave it. Like, build yourself, of course, and do as much as you can, but just know that if it's not for you, it's not for you. And just find what is.
That's a very nice way of putting it.
But you have a lot of experience though, because I've seen like on your Instagram, like you've done like, loads of short films.
Yeah, and the feature film that's come out recently, Devil May Care, by Sam Mason Bell, which was supposed to come out for Halloween last year. But there was a long, like, we all know how that works. And so it's just recently come out now on YouTube. And that was the most fun experience, because I had to live with all the actors for a week in the same house, and it was like the best experience ever. And I was like, I want to do that again. Like, I hope I get like such a long period film where I can live with everyone and really like, we just
bonded kind of thing.
So when it came to like on set, it was just slip into it. Like, it's no difference.
I had that similar experience when we had like a small short film that will probably come out for like 2-3 months from now, kind of thing. But it was up in Birmingham, kind of thing. But like, we rented like a house and then stayed in, kind of thing. It wasn't for a week, it was like 2-3 days. But
but similar experience. Kind of feel like it felt really nice to just be able to bond, get to just speak to people, talk about their experiences, and then going on set, just switch on. It's all nice, chilling vibes.
It is, and just working alongside like really talented people as well, and you just want to be
people want to take it seriously as well.
Exactly, but then you also hear so many like stories from them, and you know how it is for them in the industry, and it's just like the more actors you meet and the more you hear, you're like, what's actually going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What is going on?
That's actually so true. That's so true.
So true. Have you got like any like thing you want to like promote? Anything?
I
Like, anything
mean,
coming up?
there's really nothing coming up at the moment. I think it's just the start of the year, but you know, it's just putting yourself out there, being around like people more, just going to more events.
100%. Do you like BFI? Is it British film?
Are they doing stuff now?
Not now. I don't know actually. But
They were doing stuff before.
They do stuff throughout the year.
Yeah,
because I get emails from them.
Because our teacher in identity, Alex, he used to always tell us like, if you can, just try not to be a fire kind of thing. Because there's like a lot of events there, a lot of things you can learn. Because you saw Michael B. Jordan do like a talk.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
What's that lawyer movie called?
Lawyer movie.
Yeah, he was a lawyer, wasn't he? In the event, let's just go. I forgot what it was called, but he's like a lawyer in it, and he was just talking about like his process going through like filming and stuff and everything. It was really, really cool, very insightful. I need to actually see the movie, to be fair. I apparently did really well.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
I didn't even watch the movie as well.
just doing stuff like that kind of thing will just help you get yourself more information, get yourself into the room kind of thing.
And also, I'd say like any work you've done that you're proud of, just like send it to casting directors that you want to like essentially work with, or like stuff that's similar to stuff they done, that's similar to your stuff, and just send it. Because when I invited like agents to my like uni show, like end of year show, like some came back, they just couldn't attend, and they were like, just keep me updated. And I think it's maintaining those contacts, you have them, and be like, cool, well, whatever you have coming up, let me know, or like want to stay in contact, or even setting that like first base relationship and being like, where are you at, so we can all.
They make it seem like you're interested.
Yeah, and it's like they're people too at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like they probably are just so sick and tired of everyone coming to them like a professional sort of like, hi, I'm here to promote, when they just genuinely want to get to know people as well. So
I mean, there's ups and downs with this acting industry. That's why we decided to do like this pod kind of thing, so like people can
come and share their experiences.
So it's not like everything's perfect. Like you can see, even the biggest actors, they're not all going through like a smooth ride. Like to where they were, they worked really, really hard. Even those who just fortunately enough got picked up and weren't actors initially, for them to have got a role like that and to then for it to have blown up, they must have worked hard on set to get them to that point of putting that performance like that kind of thing. So I think we'll just like ending it on like that. But is there like anything you want to like mention that you haven't mentioned?
No, I think that's like basically everything.
2024, new agent,
lots of new work, lots of new contacts, meet more people, and do more of this. This is fun.
Yeah, maybe that's the end of tea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll talk to you off.
Okay. Off.
But
we'll put your app so people can follow you on Instagram.
And it came to there.
Oh, I had no. I was looking there. I think I was just looking here though, mostly, so they'll just have side.
It would be a bit open to that. And also,
like literally.
Thank you guys again for watching this episode. We hope you enjoyed these videos. Hope to see you in the next episode. Don't forget to
make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Like it.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share.
And thank you so much for coming. See you in the next.